Continuing on, Screencast-O-Matic is a great tool to make recordings over Google Slides or PowerPoint or anything that's on your desktop, but the free version only allows you 15 minutes. So next time I'll try to be quicker with my narration. So we left off on content integration, which is the third stage in the curricular progression and was represented in our simulation with the puzzle with many pieces, many points of views and perspectives represented, including the curriculum of the mainstream represented by that blank white piece, which is still important. But if you remember the directions of the simulation, everyone was engaged and talking and interacting and working together. And so the idea is when all points of views and perspectives are represented, students can be more engaged in the curriculum, particularly if they have a hand in helping to determine the teacher moves to the margins and the students move to the center in determining maybe what to work on in terms of a project. So at the integration stage, teachers transcend heroes and holidays, adding substantial materials and knowledge about non-dominant groups to the curriculum. The teacher might add his or her collection of books by authors of color and women. She or he might add a unit which covers, for example, the role of women in World War I. A music teacher might add slave hymns or songs from Africa to his or her repertoire. And you might be thinking, well, you said don't talk about slavery. No, I said don't just talk about slavery. So we need to have positive as well as not just negative representations of a particular point of view or culture. The strengths of the integration stage are that it transcends special celebrations to deal with real issues and concepts, and that it more closely ties diverse material into the rest of the curriculum. So the lesson is we can always do a little bit better and work a little bit harder when working on our curriculum, and myself included. So I'm always trying to diversify, try new things, experiment. And sometimes, you try things and it doesn't work out. And just to have those intentional conversations with students, well, why didn't this work and what happened? And, involving students more in that process. So I try to do that with my education students, and I let them know, hey, let's try this. I don't know if it'll work, but either way, we'll learn something. And I guess that's what being culturally relevant means. You try to make things relevant to the time in which we're living. Try to make it relevant to your student interests and your student needs, and also to what you think the students need in terms of their own learning and their own skill level. So things to think about. Think about what the explicit, hidden, and null curricula are in your classroom, department, and school. What would you change if you could? At which of Banks's stages does your curriculum fall and why? What did you observe from the puzzle simulation? How does the simulation relate to Eisner's and Banks's conceptions of curriculum? And can you relate any of this new information to previous equity and excellence trainings? So again, we are all working together to try and help all of our students, intentionally help all of our students better meet their own needs and reach success in school and to see value in school. And that's a difficult process. And not everything we do is going to work. There is no magic bullet. There's not one thing that I can tell you can do and it's going to work for all students. But there are certain strategies that can work and that are better than others that we'll talk about this year. But sometimes things need to be tailored to your own likes as well as your students. So I might tell you, try something and you might be like, I don't feel comfortable doing that, like singing a song in class, for example. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to advise that you do that. But some people think that that's a great strategy to engage students. So again, there's no magic bullet. What might work for one teacher might not work for another, but we need to just try and experiment with new things. And we are going to leave you with a couple of references to extend this conversation if you want to know more. You have these 3 links. And then here's our references. So Professor Martina Sharp-Greer and I, Jennifer Martin, we thank you for spending this time with us, and we look forward to working with you this year. Thank you. So I don't know if I'm recording or not because I can't find the end button, but if you are with me, you can stop this right now. Oh, here we go. All right. Thanks, everybody, and sorry about the technical difficulty there. Be well.